Morning. Again, my name is Dr. Senqadi Abdelkader. I'm an associate teacher from the University of Hasiban Boualei in Algeria. So this is my second video about introduction to the theories of literary criticism. And today we're going to start with the first topic, which I spoke about it within my first video. So today we're going to deal with what we call Marxist criticism. This theory is based on the economic and cultural theory of Karl Marx, who is known as the founder of communism, and which is an economic concept, which means generally and briefly, communism is stateless or classless society. Karl Marx was born on May the 5th, 1818, and left this world on March 14, 1883. And he is the writer of his famous book, which is the Communist Manifesto. It was published in 1848. And generally, this book, which deals with the social classes, the struggle of the social classes. So, Karl Marx argued that capitalism, which is the opposite of socialism, is like the previous socio-economic systems, and which will produce tension, which will lead to its destruction. Unfortunately, communism was destructed before capitalism. But this is okay. So, in his opinion, he said that because we have different classes within the society, mainly we have a rich class and we have a poor class, and because of this wide gap which is between the rich class and the poor class, so of course there will be what we call struggles, tension, conflicts between these kind of classes, and mainly because according to Karl Marx, there is no justice, there's no fair distributions of goods within the same society, and these kind of things will lead to conflicts, and these conflicts we will destruct and destroy the society of the Western society. Marx also believed that groups of people that owned and controlled major industries could exploit the rest of the population by forcing their own values and beliefs onto other social groups, because of the social situation and social background of the lower class, or what is called proletariat, which is the class of the workers. So because of their critical situation and social background, so they will be forced to forget their culture, their beliefs, their values, and have to obey the rich class which owns everything in society. And it is taken from one saying that the rich class said, for example, I will keep it short and sweet. Family, religion, friendship, these are the three demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business. And this is the core, this is the religion of the rich, of the higher class or the upper class. If you want to succeed economically and in business, you have to forget those kind of values, social values, as being brothers and sisters, sisters and mothers, mothers and fathers, neighbors, gods, halal and forbidden, and haram, everything. these kind of things should be put out in order to succeed in your life. How do we use Marxist theory? This is a very, very critical and pertinent question. So when we try to read any piece of literature, I have to focus within my text on power and money in literature. That means I have to underline all those keywords which deal with money and power in society. I have also to find out who has the power or the money, who does not. So when reading, reading these pieces of literature, it is sometimes clear to find out that this person or this character with this novel or this story is living a very, in harsh conditions. His children are not going to schools because of the high cost or the fees of the schools. And on the contrary, on the other side, we found that another man who is a rich man, and he's living in the luxury of life, that he can send his children to study everywhere. He can enjoy life. He has got a lot of money, a lot of cars. So when I read this piece of literature and I try to find the conflict between the two neighbors, with the poor and the rich one, I can understand that this text is based on the Marxist theory. What happens as a result, is there any tension, any conflict, anything so. So, four main areas of study that summarizes, or those four main areas of study summarize the theory of Karl Marx, which is Marxism. Economic power first, materialism versus spirituality, because when we deal with spirituality, according to Karl Marx, they don't believe in what is hereafter. They don't believe in what we call the Judgment Day. They believe that life starts by giving birth, and then when someone dies, everything is finished and nothing will happen after. And everything which is spiritual is nonsense. It has nothing to do with society. So this is their point of view. We have also the third one, which is a class conflict. And most of the time, if you read or if you analyze Marxist theory, we find that it gives great importance to art, art in different ways, to literature, and to implement ideologies, which is the Marxist ideology. The main topics are to investigate assumptions and values associated with culture, race, and class. For example, are the rich always good or bad? Are the poor always good or bad? The belief that literature is essentially political. It either supports or refutes economic oppression. In other words, the author either reinforces the status quo or rebels against it. We try to give you an example of the English literature. For example, all of us read Cinderella, that young lady. And if we try to analyze Cinderella from a Marxist perspective, we try we can analyze Cinderella, can evaluate Cinderella as being a part of proletariat, because she was living in poor family. She was suffering those hard conditions, and she was oppressed by her bourgeoisie stepmother, stepsisters who have stolen her rightful inheritance and turned her into a servant in her own home. Desiring to join the ranks of Cinderella, when she desired to join the ranks of the bourgeoisie by simply looking for marrying the prince. And this is what happens, because it's a kind of struggle, it's a kind of fighting their situation in order to change the social society or the social class from a poor to a rich one. The last question now I'm going to ask is what Marxist critics do. First of all, they make a division between the overt, manifest or surface and covered, which means the latent or the hidden content of literary work. They relate the context of work to the social class status of the author. And they explain the nature of the whole literature or the whole literary genre in terms of the social period which produced it. They relate also the literary work to the social assumption of the time in which it is consumed or read. They look for symbols that create or reveal in individual versus exploitative system theme, oppressive culture theme. Individual is dehumanized and mechanized, robotized, zombified, only serving the larger cause, only producing for a greater good thing. This is the first theory that I'm speaking about, which is Marxist theory. I hope or I wish that you have understood its real and its deep meaning. And thank you very much. See you within the next video.